Can children be lied to? Can you lie to your son or daughter about how they came into this world and tell them some fairy tales about how you snatched them once early in the morning from the stars, or that they grew up in the vase of flowers that you have set on your bedside table? Can you lie to them about facts of life, the ones that you feel are difficult to answer, the philosophical questions that perhaps you don't have a very good answer to yourself as an adult? Can you do that to your children? It's an important question. Let's talk about it a bit in today's podcast. The question is, why lie to your children? Why lie to them at all? Well, there are two possibilities, two possible circumstances in which one could imagine that a child should be lied to. One of these circumstances is when one of your children asks you a difficult question, a question that concerns theology or philosophy or some kind of a biological or scientific fact that you feel if you answer truthfully, they won't be able to understand it, or somehow you want to shield them from some of the harsher realities of the world, like, for example, the reality of death or the reality of violence. That is, let's say, one of the possibilities in which you would want to lie to a child. The other possibility is when you want to avoid a subject, when they're asking you why you're fighting with your spouse and you want to avoid the point, when you want to avoid this conversation with them, you lie to them. You tell them, okay, we're not fighting, or blah, 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 whatever. Or there could be a third possibility. You're lying to them sometimes when they are asking for something and you don't want to outright deny them, but you tell them, okay, I'm going to buy this for you or that for you. I will get you this or that tomorrow or the day after, just to, quench their desire for the time being. But you don't have the money, you don't have the resources to get that thing for them. So that could be one of the scenarios in which you might want to lie to your children. Muslim or not, please understand this. You cannot lie to children. There have been studies done, and I can tell you this as an educationist. I've been involved in teaching for over 23 years. Been teaching for more than 23 years. I've been involved with students as a faculty member, as a coach, as a stage director. And I can tell you this as a fact. There have been studies done about young adults who have psychological problems, who have developed sort of problems that hinder them from learning, that hinder them from entering into the practical life well equipped with all the things that they need to succeed. And one of the problems that we see in children is that they become pathological liars, and they tell lies so easily, and the way they interweave lies into the realities of their life, that it becomes hard, and it gradually becomes harder for them to distinguish between what's really real and what's not. And when we trace this back to parents who've been lying to them consistently. So if you have a habit of lying to your child, it is going to create a lot of problems for him or her in her or his upcoming life. practical life. In education, they, they the psyche of these children who've been lied to consistently is broken. And when they realize that their parents have been lying to them, it's some kind of a fail-safe mechanism that develops the same habits in them. It also hinders them from learning, from getting equipped with the kind of arsenal that is required for advanced learning, like good analytical skills, logic and rationale, those kinds of things, problem solving. They are often the children who are often lied to by their parents and siblings or whoever they're growing up with. They have difficulty in problem solving. And we recommend chess as one of the remedies for these kinds of children because chess is extremely beneficial in these circumstances and generally as well. Chess is an excellent board game that helps cognitive development in young adults. So, Muslim children or non-Muslim children, don't lie to them. Don't lie to your children. If you have a difficult question that you come across from your child, try to read up on that. First, educate yourself, and then try to come up with an answer that you think best suits that situation and that narrative and best addresses that question. If they are asking you about some kind of a biological or scientific fact that you think is too adult for their age, don't lie to them. Just keep something hidden away from them, a part of that fact. You can veil it, you can sugarcoat it, but tell them the truth. For example, let me give you a direct example. If a child asks you, how did they come into existence? How they came into this world? Don't lie to them with a fairy tale. Just tell them, out of love for your mother, if you're your husband, you can tell your child, well, out of my love for your mother, or if you're a mother, you can change this around and say, out of my love for your father. You came out biologically from the tummy of your mother. And then they would ask, how was I in tummy? And then, you can build up on that and build up on that. You don't need to outright lie to them and tell them, we plucked you off of a star, or one night we woke up, one day we woke up and you were just there. Instead of saying that, tell them, well, out of our love for each other, for your spouse, whoever you are, if you are a husband, you can take the name of the mother. If you are a wife, you can take the name of the husband. Out of my love for the spouse, you came into being, and your mother's tummy grew. You were in your mother's tummy, and then you came out in this world. After, most of the times these days, it's the C-section that delivers a child into this world. So you can tell them, we opened the tummy of your mother and we took you out. And then you can develop that concept slowly, steadily. But you have to read up on it. Read up on how to talk to children. Read up on how to tell children about difficult facts of life, difficult scientific facts. A child asks you, Dad, why is there day and night? How are you going to explain that? How are you going to tell them, well, it's because of the rotation of the earth and the evolution of the earth that days and nights are formed? How are you going to tell them how the earth does not revolve around the sun? That's an old theory. It revolves around the Milky Way, just in a similar way that the sun revolves around the Milky Way. So all of these facts, you need to study this for yourselves first. You need to understand these facts. You need to have good command on these concepts. And then tell your children the fact. Do not lie to them. Don't tell them hocus pocus. Don't tell them things which are fairy tales or are lies, outright lies. It will destroy their psyche and it will harm them. So, in Islam, lastly, let me address this. In Islam, it is strictly forbidden to lie to your child. If, for example, you do not have means to buy them something and they ask you for it, tell them, I will buy this for you when I have the means. Don't tell them, I'm going to buy this for you tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow, and then keep lying to them. In Islam, it is strictly forbidden to lie to a child. Our Prophet ﷺ clearly and strictly forbade it to lie to a child. So please stop lying to your children. Stop doing that. Lying is not cool. It's not appreciated. It's not part of any moral system, subjective or objective. So please do away with this habit, and especially with children. Stop doing that. You're harming them. Don't do this. Don't do this. This is the first thing that we tell parents of children in whom we see problems in cognitive development, and especially in analytical skills and problem solving skills. So beware of this. You are harming your child if you're lying to them. Stop doing that. Engage them in meaningful conversations. You'll have to study up on certain things before doing that. So read up on these things, on these issues, and then engage them in meaningful conversations. I sincerely hope that you understood what I was saying, and that you will stop lying to your children, if you were at all in the first place. Thank you very much for joining me today, and take care of yourselves, your children, your progeny, your spouse, your relatives, everyone around you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.